Hi, welcome to Learning Module 7, Head and Spinal Injuries. What you see on your screen right now in front of you is my Start Working tab. Scroll on down to Head and Spinal Injuries. Click on it. Now what you're seeing is my view. What my view does is expands the whole thing. What you'll see, I'll show you in a moment what you'll see. But once again, we have our standard head and spinal injuries PowerPoint. We have head and spinal injuries notes. These pictures show things that you should do, skull lacerations, not skull lacerations, scalp lacerations, excuse me. They tend to bleed like stuck pigs. I've seen people with blood running down their face like this right here. And once they got cleaned up, it was a itty bitty cut that caused all of it. So if you see a scalp injury and you see a lot of blood, don't panic quite yet. Get it cleaned up and take a look at it. This picture here is a girl with a tampon up her nose to stop a bloody nose. It is something that we do use. There are commercially made nose plugs, but we do carry some tampons in our sports medicine kit to all the baseball and football games that we work. And we tend to cut them in half instead of leaving them full like this. And then we tend to cut the string off. That way it's not that obvious. This picture here shows a guy with something in his eye and running warm water over that eyeball. It's what you do for a foreign object in their eye. It's what you do for some chemical in their eye. The next thing is a video about how to assess for neck and back injuries. I'd like for you to watch that. It's from protrainings.com. We've seen a lot of his videos. And then we get to my least favorite thing in the whole world is concussions. If anything in the world scares me more than anything else, it's a concussion. And the reason why is concussion is a brain injury, and we really can't see outward signs of a brain injury. We have to rely on behavioral cues, can't get my words out. So this guy does a pretty decent job of explaining what a concussion is. Used to think that a concussion was a brain bruise. That's no longer the thought. The concussion is actually tearing of some brain tissue deep inside the brain. Even a mild concussion does that. I don't know if you've heard the old wives' tale, if you got a goose egg out here, that means the swelling goes out, not swelling going in. That's not necessarily true. You get hit hard enough to get swelling out, you can get swelling going in as well. So don't use that as a criteria for assessing for a concussion. Here next we have the SCAT, which stands for Sideline Concussion Assessment Tool. Sport concussion assessment tool, excuse me, the 5th edition. I've attached a PDF here, and what I want you to do is print that PDF or open the PDF up and read through it yourself. This is something that we do on the sidelines whenever we have a head injury, whether it be mild or a major trauma to the head. We do at least portions of the SCAT-5, and I want you to see how difficult it is to do without a concussion. What I would like for you to do is, after you've read through it, get somebody in your family or your roommate and employ the SCAT. Ask them the questions, and then you give me 3 or 4 sentences, a paragraph of your impression of how difficult it was, how well they did, things like that. Next, there's a video. I really want you to watch this Preston Pliberidis story. It's about second impact syndrome after concussion. It's about a young man who sustained a concussion and was returned to play faster than he should have been, and sustained a second concussion, and now he's permanently brain damaged. It's a very sad story, but it's very compelling that you need to watch. It talks about second impact syndrome. Then, let me make this available. I have a head injuries quiz that I made on it. So let me change the due date on it. Oh, due date. Anyway, I'll get it fixed for you by the time you get to it. But here we go. Head injuries quiz instructor. Those are my questions that I made, not from your publisher. Then also I've added in how to treat a cervical spine injury. There's 2 videos on how to spine board an athlete or a person. You will probably never be called in your life to be the one in charge, which is the person at the head in this case, this person down here at the head. But you may be called to assist the EMS in how to do it. So I want you to just watch through these videos. That way you familiarize yourself with what goes on when we spine board somebody, whether it be an athlete or maybe somebody from a car accident. I've personally been in on spine boarding an athlete probably half a dozen times, and knock on wood, fortunately, every single one of them turned out to be negative. We spine boarded them for nothing but out of precaution, and I'm thankful that we did spine board them, because the one that you don't think you need to spine board is the one that you do. And so then there's a little assignment. Recognize the spinal injuries. Please list the 6 signs and symptoms listed in your book that a person might have with a suspected spinal injury. It's in both the 6th and 7th edition, so I'm looking for 6 signs and symptoms. I'm not looking for a bunch of stuff. Spinal injury questions, responsive victim. Please list in order the questions and steps in the skill drill, which is in the 6th edition, or I think they call it skill sheet 12.1 in the 7th edition. It's quite simple as well, very quick. And then there is a head and spinal injuries from the publisher. Oops. All right, sorry I paused you there for a second. What I did was I went in and fixed the assignments so they will open up as I had said they would. I had messed up on setting of mine. Let me go into the mode that you'll look at. So this is the welcome page. Go to start working. Scroll on down. Learning Module 7. Now, some of you have sent me some emails with a little bit of confusion. Each one of these things right here, there are 12 things within this learning module. You need to click on each one to get to the notes, to get to the video, to get to the assignments. So some of you have just been hitting the quizzes and not the assignments, not looking at the material that I have in there supplemental, like the videos and things. So under each link here is there's a head and spinal injuries from the publisher. So under each link is where you'll find the things that you need to do. So anyway, please mind the due dates, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.